Roddy Rich Stop Breathing. Earlier in the year, dropping the album wasn't received in the best way it could have been critically. Me, I enjoyed a couple tracks on there, but I remember Thailand being one of the tracks on the album. I'm like, this really made the cut? Someone listened to the hook of Thailand and just heard him, I wouldn't say struggling, but the tone and pitch on the hook for Thailand didn't sound polished. And that's something that with Roddy Rich, he doesn't have the most amazing singing voice, but it at least sounds polished when we hear him on a hook or rapping melodically. There was a lot of instances of that in Living Life Fast. Hope I got the album right. But anyhow, Stop Breathing, Roddy Rich. We're gonna, again, have to search it up, even though I had this already. Stop Breathing, Roddy Rich, coming in at 1 minute and 51 seconds. You guys know I'm thinking about getting the exact second. Production from Turbo, Jetson Made, and this is going to be coming off his upcoming project, Feed the Streets 3. I'm going to be real with y'all. Roddy Rich, I enjoy a quick track. If it's a banger, if it's something that we're going to be blasting on the speakers, not to say this track we won't blast on the speakers, but less than 2 minutes, something, a project that you've been hyping up yourself because you acknowledge the last album wasn't as hard, you got to feed us a little bit more. You're trying to feed the streets, but a track coming at barely 2 minutes feels like we're getting a couple appetizers, a couple crumbs. As far as the hook, look out the window, what do I see? A couple yachts, they got some thoughts that trot the seven seas. Yo, listen, production for Turbo and Jetson Made. It's nice. It's nice, but when I heard that, I was just like, all right, yachts, thoughts, trot the seven seas. Feels like a pirate that time traveled into our present day and is trying to keep up with some of the slang, some of the wordplay, and he's trying to like fit in. It's just like, yeah, pirate ship thoughts. Instead of the usual boats, he's trying to be on the yachts, but he's trying to trot the seven seas. It's funny. And as bad as I think this bar is, it gets some points for me because it is funny. And going into verse 1, Mustard just sent a new Ferrari. I just might cop me one. They can't be rich. They just trying to make a carbon copy of him. Rich, Roddy Rich, we get the tie-in. Mustard, DJ Mustard, him and Roddy always collaborating, sending him a Ferrari. That's a nice gift. Nothing on here as far as the first verse that's just catching, that's gonna be, oh wow, that was a nice bar that's gonna give me that earworm where I'm just somewhere casually like, oh man, I'm rapping this song and continue gravitating for it. It's very, very simplistic and the imagery isn't paying off. Bracelets on my right wrist, I got 80 on my Fragrance Strong. Trying to tie in as far as the worth on the jewelry, as far as the fragrance, I'm not buying into it either. Going back into the hook. Oh, that's it. That's gonna, you know what? That's my review. Roddy Rich Stop Breathing review is gonna be based on this one bar. A couple yachts, they got some thoughts that trot the seven seas. That's it. That's the review. If you want to be in the atmosphere of a pirate, trying to mesh into, I don't know, somehow you time traveled into the present, you're trying to understand all the slang terms. This is it. That's the review, done deal. But to finish it off in the second verse, it's hard to stomach that. I'm outrunning laps and I ain't coming back. Maybach jumping like a jumping jack off the mumble rap. This was Roddy Rich Stop Breathing, a painfully average track from Roddy Rich. If we rely on the instrumental carry us through, we're gonna make it to the shore. But for the most part, we're drowning in the ocean. We're genuinely not breathing. And I feel it's a bit disrespectful to label this track Stop Breathing when we have Playboi Carti having a track called Stop Breathing. The same way basketball players, the same way NBA organizations retire jerseys, we need to have an establishment that retires song title. I don't want nothing else other than Playboi Carti. I don't want anybody else other than Playboi Carti having a song named Stop Breathing. And that's the review for Roddy Rich Stop Breathing.